Hi guys, I'm Amanda, pro bikini athlete and women's physique and competition prep coach.
And I'm Sandra, pro bikini athlete and women's health and physique coach.
And together, we're bringing you In Between Sets Unfiltered.
Combining real athlete experience, coaching expertise, and unfiltered conversations the women's fitness industry needs more of. Welcome back to In Between Sets.
We are here, round 2, baby.
We're back.
Here for a juicy episode as well, actually.
Yeah, today we are going to be talking about fat loss.
The hot topic. Every woman wants to lose fat.
Yeah, probably one of my favorite things to dive into because everyone overcomplicates it or they're sabotaging their own progress.
And there's probably just too much noise about it too.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much confusion. As you know, we are here to fucking put that straight for you.
Yeah, exactly right. So before we begin, a little bit of a personal update time. Amanda, how's prep going?
Well, here we are in fat loss, of course, lads. I actually, when we watched the last episode back, I realised that I said I had lost 8.5 kilos in 14 weeks. It had not been 14 weeks. It's actually coming 14 weeks at the end of this week. So I'd actually back then when we did the app, I'd lost 8.5 kilos. I think it was like 11 weeks. So now I've actually lost 10 kilos. So an extra 1.5 since y'all seen me in 14 weeks coming. So it's been prepping. The prep's been prepping. And I'm starting to feel all the things. I'm starting to feel a bit more hunger and, I'll walk into the pantry and go, I just need to get out of here. I can't do anything about this. And I just had to sit with it. So I think this last bit, it's been learning to sit with the hunger, which I think we can definitely talk more about today, which is I think an important part of fat loss. But all in all, I actually spoke about this in my stories this morning, because I had another girl I'm friends with in the gym ask me, how are you feeling? I said, I actually feel really good. I feel good because, I'm feeling all the physical metabolic adaptations that your body goes through as you get leaner. But my mindset is exactly where it needs to be. It's intact. And I feel like because the mind is where it needs to be, that's what's kind of carrying the body where it needs to go as well. That this doesn't need to be a poor me, I'm suffering, I'm in the trenches, like everyone walk on eggshells around me, No, motherfucker. I want everyone to treat me the exact same way they do when I'm full of beans, you know what I mean? I don't want people to feel like they have to tiptoe around me or, oh, man is in prep, No. I chose to do this, So I think that's been a big mantra for me in how I'm carrying myself. And I feel like it's really set the pave and I'm enjoying it so far, man.
I love that. I can relate to that so much when I was in prep. I had a time where I was kind of like stuck in that mindset of like, I'm suffering, like everyone needs to just be extra nice to me because I'm going through this terrible thing. And then I quickly snapped myself out of that. I'm like, bitch, you chose to do this.
It's very
like you can stop whenever you want.
Yeah, it's very easy to fall into victim mentality.
Absolutely.
And I think I did when I was an amateur in my early years of competing. But now it's, like you chose to do this. And prep doesn't, you're tired. And I think what happens is we associate these negative thoughts and feelings with being tired and hungry. So we frame that this is a negative experience, but it's more so it's an opportunity to make it a positive one. Like how beautiful that I can sit with hunger, that I'm in control, that I can actually pause and regulate my emotions and listen to what my body needs. I think that in itself is very powerful. And the reason I talk about this is because I hope that more women can come into this sport and truly actually feel happy in prep. Like it is a happy thing. And I feel fucking amazing. And I think it's because I'm getting up and I'm doing the shit that I said I would do.
Yeah, prep is a privilege. It's a privilege. Like you're choosing your own suffering in a way to make you better.
Yeah.
Like that's a privilege. Not everyone gets to do that.
No. And what about you though? Because you're obviously, as we know, going on the opposite ends.
Yeah.
Like we spoke in the car and you actually did a really good post about your off season. Like how are you going?
I am going well. I feel like I've come out on the other side of some of the negative effects of the post-show experience, especially being my first post-show too. I'm sure a lot of girls can relate digestive issues, hormonal issues, like fat distribution, all of these things that you don't expect and don't know how to navigate, especially during your first post-show experience. It was a lot to go through at first, but I'm coming out on the other side of it all. And just like prep did, like it's only made me stronger. It's made me stronger, more in tune with my body, more resilient.
Yeah. I agree. And as I said to you in the car, and even with other athletes I've prepped, coming out my last show, your physique, you tend to become quite watery. You know, sometimes we have a lot of social things. We eat foods that our body's not used to, and we hold a lot more water. The distribution of body fat, it goes in different places, and we feel a bit puffy, slow digestion, all these things. And one thing I said to you in the car was, when you come out of prep, you need to expect and accept that your physique is actually going to look worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like being able to sit with that. And it's in order for it to look better, where you get back in your off season and you have more body fat, but you're a tighter off season look, you can see your muscle definition, you look full, not watery, you actually have to worsen your physique and allow it to become watery again for yourself to get back to a position where you start to feel fuller and tighter.
Yeah.
And that's where some girls go, oh my God, I swear last time, you know, I was 65 kilos in my off season. I didn't look like this. I feel shit at this 65 kilo. But you have to wait. Your body needs time. The other thing about it as well, you've probably lost muscle as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
So of course you're not going to look like the same 65 in your off season. But after time where your hormones start to regulate back out, you get your period back, which is a really good sign. That when you get your period back, that is a good sign that your body can actually start building muscle again. Until you ain't got that shit, you're probably, you know, at high risk of still injuries and, you know, not recovering properly because things are still balancing out. But once you get that, I think everything kind of ties in there.
Yeah, that was a rough realization for me, that it does not come back on the same way that it came off. Like, I was not aware of that. And that doesn't get spoken about enough. I think first-time competitors need to be aware of that. Like, when it's coming back on, you're watery, you're inflamed, your digestion is going to suck because you've been eating the same fucking
You've
foods for
literally
the last 6 months.
destroyed your like digestive system. Like it's fucked. It's not healthy.
Don't go to Bali and get Bali belly as well. 2 weeks post-show.
Made my last shows in Bali of the season.
Literally.
Rip.
Like, that was just not a good time. My digestion has been paying the price ever since. But yeah, I think we could do a whole episode on that topic, honestly, the post-show experience and all the things that don't get spoken about, because yeah, it can be a lot to deal with, especially as a first-time competitor.
I think it'll be a good one to do when even I'm coming out. We can talk about like the actual feels in the rut of it and everything too. But coming into the fat loss stuff now, I feel with this one, I would really love for everyone to kind of, I guess, chat who this is going to be for. So if you are someone that is trying to diet, or maybe you've been trying to diet for years and you've had no success, or maybe you're an athlete or potential athlete wanting to get stage lean, or maybe you're just a woman who is getting in the gym training but you just feel soft, we're going to cover some really good stuff in this episode. But going into, I think, starting with the common fat loss myths and misconceptions, like what would you say are the top ones there?
Oh, there's still so many, honestly, like 1,200 calorie diets, cutting out carbs, not eating after 7 p.m., which was a big one that I used to believe. Thanks, Mum.
I actually got that one too. Yeah, I got that. After eating after 6 p.m., not that this is actual like nutrition related, but when I'm sweating, it's actually the fat sweating out of my skin.
Yes.
Yeah,
I remember
crazy.
seeing that quote and it was like, when you sweat, it's like you're fat crying
It's
or something.
cringe cunt.
Stop.
There's like early 2000s vibes right there.
Yeah. But yeah, there's still so much. There's so many misconceptions, misinformation online. Now we've got peptides and stuff coming out too.
Do you know what? It's a big thing right there. This, and I'm just going to say this, I'm going to say it once about peptides at the moment because I've had that many questions in my DMs and thoughts.
Me too.
If you don't even go to the fucking gym, if you don't even know what a macro is or a calorie is, if you don't even eat protein with every meal, if you don't even eat fucking regularly, and the first thing you're doing is going to jump on fucking Reddit, you got a fucking problem.
Yeah, you got to reevaluate.
You're going to make more problems. You are going to cause some really hectic health issues here. You're going to end up with some sort of deficiencies. You're probably going to end up with some gut motility issues. As a woman, your hormonal health is at risk here. And you'll probably find that when you decide to stop taking the fucking thing, you're going to end up with some pretty fucking bad eating behaviors, binge eating probably at the highest risk there too. And these are the things people are not thinking about. I mean, what happens to the days where you just hear about peptides being used in the bodybuilding world? Now it's your fucking next door neighbor, a girl who's 19 years old that just goes out and binge drinks every weekend.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy. And also the cost. Reddit is so fucking expensive. Like, it's baffles me. And I think now with coaches in the industry, we need to be careful because I even once, about a year ago when Ozempic was peaking before Retta, I had a client, I was like, well, you are dropping weight so quickly. Like, really, what's going on? She hadn't told me she started taking Ozempic.
You're
But you know what was even
joking.
more fucked? The doctor prescribed it. Yeah. And she was 19 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And this is like, it makes things tricky. And if you are someone that is dabbling in this and you don't know much about it because it's hot topic on TikTok and you're lying to your coach, you got a fucking issue there.
It's literally trending on TikTok. My 17-year-old sister asked me about peptides.
Yeah.
She's not even like into fitness. Like, how is that even on her fucking TikTok? She's like, I get it on my TikTok all the time. These girls are doing peptides. What is it? What's it about? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Don't fucking do it, girls.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, get a fucking coach. Learn how to eat better. If you're trying to lose fat and you're so frustrated it's not coming off, Retta is not the fucking issue. And the thing is, I always say this, whatever you decide to choose, the path of your fitness journey, I wouldn't even call Retta a part of your fitness journey, but your health journey of weight loss, it needs to be an approach that is sustainable. You're not going to take Retta for the rest of your fucking life, yeah? You're going to keep jabbing to your 60? No. So fix the actual issues at hand. If you've got issues with food, go to the main source. If you have disordered eating patterns, go get that clinically diagnosed. Go to a psychologist, see a dietitian. If you have awareness of macros, but you're not quite sure how much food you should be eating, get a fucking coach. There are people to invest in. If you can spend money on fucking Retta, you can spend money on a coach.
100%. Fat loss is simple in principle.
Yeah.
It really is. It's the execution where people go wrong. It's a lot of the time women don't have a motivation problem. They just don't have the right strategy in place. Like whether you have 5 kilos to lose or if you have 30 kilos to lose, the principle is the same, but your plan has to be different. And that's where people are getting shit so fucked up, especially with, like we said, all the noise on social media.
Yeah. And this is where having one person to listen to makes all the difference, because at the end of the day, your journey is so individual. So especially when it comes to fat loss, you can't be eating what old mate's eating on her day of eating fucking 8 weeks out from show. It's not going to be good for you. And this is where if you want to take away the noise of not knowing what to do, but you're just hoping that you're going to get the right advice on TikTok, getting a coach, that takes away all the noise. The amount of clients of girls that I have that will message me things they see on TikTok and they actually ask about it, they'll send it to me like, what are your thoughts on this? And I think it's fucking great because now they've got someone they can trust that can help rinse through all this bullshit for them. Instead, you're just scrolling this and absorbing all this, but how are you to know if that's actually even going to be suited to you? Everything is context dependent, right? Someone could say something, but for the right person, yes, but maybe for another person, no. You can't compare apples to oranges. It needs to be individualized. So I think if you are stuck in a rut, this is why we have professionals. I'm not going to go and try and service my car and I don't know what to do, right? I'm going to go fucking pay a mechanic, right? I'm going to invest in someone that knows. Because if I try and fuck with it, I'm probably going to end up having an autistic meltdown because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm probably going to be going around circles, and I might even fuck up my car. Who knows? So I'm going to save myself time, energy, emotion. I'm just going to go invest it and get there quicker, and also do it in a way that is more sustainable. So why treat your body any different to your car, right? I love this type of analogy.
Yeah, that's so good.
And when it comes to losing fat loss, this is the thing with fat loss. People like 8-week challenges, for example. We see these people, this person lost 12 kilos in 8 weeks. Quick fat loss is not great fat loss. Your rate of loss is actually really important. When we're looking at rate of loss, what would you say for a lot of your girls is what you're kind of aiming for, and why are we aiming for a specific rate of loss?
It heavily depends on the client. If you are someone who has been living this bodybuilder lifestyle for the last 4 years, tracking all your food, training consistently, better adherence, you are going to need a different approach to someone who is maybe just more general population, needs to lose 20 to 30 kilos, eats like shit, doesn't really go to the gym. Like, you need a completely different approach. That's why like quicker is not always better if it's not sustainable. I have clients come to me and they want to lose 10 kilos in 10 weeks, like as quickly as possible. We look at their habits, we look at their lifestyle. I'm like, babe, it is possible to lose a kilo a week, but for how you live, you're going to crash and burn. Like there is absolutely no way. It's better to take a slower approach, allow yourself to eat a little bit more food. Yes, that means fat loss is going to be slower, but you're actually going to be able to adhere to it. So you're actually going to achieve the result.
Yeah. If you're going to go on a fat loss journey, you have to be realistic with yourself. You can't just say you want to lose 10 kilos. And this is why having a coach, they've done this many times before. I've done it with hundreds of women based on your lifestyle, the time that you have on your hands, how much time can you account to getting your steps up during the day, how much time can you commit to getting to the gym a couple times a week. It's going to be very different, right? So having someone that can actually map out this is what is going to be realistic for you and also done in a healthy way that you're not going to crash and burn is in your best interest, because I have had numerous girls and a couple recently that have joined the team that have come to me, and I reckon this would be a common thing that maybe you've even gotten a couple girls as well, come to me and say, I had this massive weight loss journey. I lost like 20 kilos and they lost it very quickly. And then when they got to this goal weight they had set to themselves, they gained it all back very, very fast, and then have found themselves in a rut. They haven't been able to get back there. And I'll tell you why this has happened. With this client in particular, this is when calories versus in and out was going wild on social media and everyone was using MyFitnessPal for the first time. Want to lose weight? Just put yourself in a calorie deficit. Well, the problem is, what are these girls doing? They're putting themselves in way too deep of a deficit. Having a correct drop, like in a deficit, is super important in allowing you to actually keep this weight off forever. Just because you can eat 1,200 calories and you have the willpower and you can drop fucking weight like that doesn't mean you should, because what's going to happen here, the longer you're in a deficit and the more aggressive the deficit, guess what? The harder it's going to be coming out of that, because your body is going through a process of this beautiful thing called metabolic adaptations, the thing I am feeling lots of right now. And your body is a smart fucking vessel. The leaner it gets, and generally when we say you lose over 10% of your body weight, your hunger starts to skyrocket. Your energy starts to drop. Your food focus increases. All these metabolic adaptations start happening, right? We get what's called diet fatigue. It starts to get hard. Everything's weighing on you. Now, if you don't have the correct and appropriate strategies to manage these metabolic adaptations to ensure that you aren't going to crash and burn, it's going to leave you in a bad spot where you might officially snap, and it might lead to a binge. It might lead to a massive burnout, and it might lead to gaining all this weight back, and it's uncontrollable. And it's tough because you might think, no, I got this. No, you don't got this, because your hormones are a very powerful fucking thing and they will take over. And we see it. It's bodybuilding is the classic example of competitors going into prep and ending up with binge eating disorders.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And this is where having a coach that is very qualified in this realm is super important, because the analogy I love to use is the elastic band analogy. And people may have heard me speak about this on social media. I reckon you're going to love this. So I'm going to just use competing as the example for this. So we have the athlete is the elastic band. Now, the elastic band, when we diet, we're dropping fat, we can keep pulling up this elastic band, right? But then it gets to a point where there becomes a bit of tension. And when we're pulling at it, this is obviously us dropping fat, but there's only a certain amount of bandwidth before we go snap. So when we start to see that these metabolic adaptations I spoke about start to get really high, we need to let go of that elastic band just a little bit, just so it doesn't break, so we can keep holding on, because we still got more to go, right? How do we do that? We implement refeeds, we implement deloads, we implement rest days, because we can't just keep pulling out this elastic band. And if you're even a lifestyle client, you've got a big weight loss journey ahead, you also still need to have someone in your corner that's helping you implement these strategies so you don't snap that elastic band. Because when you snap, it's going to be pretty hard to bring it back together. Would you agree?
I love that. I love that analogy. That's so good. Yeah, aggressive dieting has its place, but it's not for everyone. It's not for most people.
Especially
honestly.
if it's new.
Yeah, if it's new, like slow and sustainable is the way to go. You don't want to just destroy your relationship with food, destroy your relationship with your body, be constantly starving, constantly fatigued. Like the trade-off is just not worth it. And you're not even going to be able to adhere to it. So yeah, on paper, it might create faster fat loss, but it's not going to be faster when you're fucking binge eating every weekend because you're starving.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah, and I think that also comes down to your lifestyle and what are your values. So one thing I always love, especially with lifestyle clients, is when they're setting on a fat loss goal, I like to figure out what are your values. Do you every Friday night love sitting down and catching up with your family? You'll have a home cooked meal. Do you value being able to go out and have breakfast with the gals on Saturday morning? Like some of these things for some people, it's really important to them, right? And if they don't have that, it sucks for them, right? For me, I don't put much of a value on that. I love eating in my container 7 days a week. Thank you. That's a value to me, right?
Yeah.
I love fucking eating out of my container in silence and just doing my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But for some other people, especially cultures as well, like certain clients come from different cultures, right? So we need to align with what we're doing here, also align with your values. And if your values, some of them maybe are surrounded by food, we find a way to make it work. It might mean that we actually navigate these social occasions or dinners in a different way that you still can lose fat loss. But we also need to have at hand here that with your values, that it might mean that your fat loss is a little bit slower, that you still get to live a life that's of value to you.
Yeah.
If you have to completely go against all your values and rinse and feel miserable just to get more aesthetically pleasing in your eyes and to fit a different size, that doesn't sound worth it to me. That does not sound worth it. And the classic example of this is someone going into a bodybuilding prep because it looks cool on paper and in a photo, but their whole life crumbled because of it, because it wasn't actually a value of what was required to do that prep. They ruined their relationship. They lost friends. They don't see their family. They now are scared of food. That to me does not sound worth doing a bodybuilding prep.
Yeah. If your fat loss plan causes you to have to transform your entire fucking life, you might take the weight off, but good luck keeping it off. Because what happens after the diet? No one talks about the diet after the diet. You got to keep that shit off. It doesn't just end there. And that is where I think I read some statistic and it was like, I'm fucking paraphrasing here. I could be so wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was like 80% of people that lose the weight put it back on.
Yeah, we don't have a fat loss problem. We have a weight maintenance problem, as I always say.
Absolutely.
And I think I actually don't want to go too hard into it because I actually think I want to keep that for an episode.
That could be a whole episode.
Talking about how to transition out of fat loss, because I have so much to say on that I think is going to be a very valuable episode. And maybe we even make it the next summit coming out of this potentially.
Maybe we should. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to transition from fat loss to building.
Yeah. Like this is
like
how we fat loss, but then transitioning out.
Yeah.
That is a different ball game, and there is a way to do it that you can actually keep the weight off and feel your best and have a great relationship with food. Because the work does not end after you've lost that body fat.
No,
it does not end. And when we are looking at managing, so we've spoken about obviously fat loss, the rate of it is important. It needs to be sustainable. We've spoken about obviously metabolic adaptations and how the state that your body goes into and how we manage these things. But we also need to talk about adding on to these metabolic adaptations, the hunger that we experience throughout this. Everyone's so reactive to hunger. No one wants to sit with hunger.
It's the main reason why so many people give up on their fat loss journeys is because they don't know how to manage the hunger.
Yep. And I think the biggest thing is reactiveness. Like, your body can go, I think it was up to, I was reading 3 to 7 days with no food before it enters starvation.
That's wild.
True starvation, where then your organs and stuff start to fuck up on you. And then there's people that get I just want a bit of a bite or
sweet
two,
treat.
and it's been 3 hours since your last meal. It's too hard. Oh, I don't want to sit with it. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. Now, if you haven't really sat with much uncomfortable shit in your life, you're probably going to suck at fat loss, because guess what? Fat loss is fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It teaches you, and fat loss is character building too. And I always feel the people that have shown great resilience in other areas of their life, whether they've achieved a degree in something that took a lot of delayed gratification, they've worked through some hardships, they've experienced discomfort. And they've learned to sit with it and realize this sucks. I'm not going to react to it, right? So getting comfortable with sitting with your hunger is important. But there are ways that we can manage hunger to ensure that you're keeping your body somewhat satisfied, and it actually makes your diet more easy to stick to. What are some of the suggestions you give your girls to help manage hunger in a diet?
First things first, like if we're talking practical strategies, first thing that I would ever look at with a client is, what are they actually eating? Where are your calories coming from? Are you eating whole foods? Are you eating protein? Are you eating fiber? Or are you eating your fucking 300 calorie chocolate mud cake fucking overnight Weet-Bix? I don't know.
Yeah.
Some shit that leaves you hungry an hour later. We got to actually zoom out and look at your meal choices, because majority of your meals should be coming from protein and whole foods. That's what's going to actually keep you full. If you're eating fucking cereal for breakfast and I don't even know, what do people eat? A sausage roll for lunch? Like, no shit, you are fucking hungry.
Oh, but I scanned it and it fitted in my calories.
Yeah.
But I really just want to binge at ice cream now, because I haven't actually had anything nutritious or filling.
Just because it fits your macros doesn't mean that it should.
Remember, there was these people like that would literally use as their selling point for coaching. If it fits your macros, coach,
God,
fuck
I remember
off,
that
cunt.
whole trend.
It's still a thing I see coaches put in their bios. Eat your favorite foods and still lose weight. That tells me you care about pleasing your clients, not looking after their health.
Yeah. I think you'd have to have a level of balance.
Yep.
I always encourage my clients, like, allow yourself to have a little mini Freddo frog after dinner.
Yep.
Have a little treat, like have something. It's going to help
1
keep
to 2 soul foods.
Yeah, it's going to help keep cravings at bay.
Yep.
It's going to prevent you from overeating when you do get to eat it.
Yep.
But in moderation. Balance is not having a fucking cheeseburger for dinner and then going out for frozen yogurt after. Like, no, it's having your whole food based high protein dinner and then having maybe like a little bowl of ice cream afterwards.
Yeah.
A little Freddo frog. Like, that is what's, if it fits your macros.
Yep.
People are just taking advantage of that
Taking
shit.
the fucking piss.
Yeah, and then they're complaining that they're hungry and can't stick to their diet. No shit. Look at the meals that you're actually eating. Are you eating breakfast? Are you eating protein first thing in the morning? Are you fueling your training properly? That is a huge one. If you're waking up first thing in the morning and you're going to the gym on fucking empty, no carbs, no protein, nothing, of course you are going to crash by 3 p.m. You're going to be starving because your stress hormones are going crazy. Your hunger hormones are going crazy. And I have girls tell me I'm just not hungry in the morning. Just because you're not hungry in the morning does not mean that your body isn't. Those stress hormones are going to catch up to you later. And it's going to kick in at 8 p.m. when you're not distracted anymore for the day. You're quiet. You actually have a time to sit down and relax. Now that ramps up. Now you feel it. And now you're raiding your fucking pantry.
Yeah. Do you know what? I have an analogy that I use for my clients that really summarize a lot of what you said. And it just came to me one day. And I found a lot of clients get a lot of benefit. So you know what? I'm going to bring my coaching skills into this and share it all with you.
Go for it. I love it.
So I'm big on analogies, if you guys haven't told already. So when especially a fat loss, I love using this analogy through any phase because it means health first. This is what this analogy is about. It's about health first. But in a fat loss, it's even more important because when we're in a fat loss phase, you're on lower food, right? Meaning how you spend, let's call the calories money here, how you spend your calories because you're on a lower budget here is more fucking important than ever because you need to be smart to ensure you're still ticking your nutritional health boxes. And this is what I call paying your body's bills. So when we get our budget, okay, Sandra's given you your weekly paycheck for your calories. It's not fucking much. You haven't got much going on this week. You got to pay your body bills, right? We need to ensure you're hitting your fibre. This is your mortgage. You got to pay that fucker. There's no choice, right? Or you're going to not be able to fucking live in a house.
Not going to be able to take shit.
You've got to be able to take shit. We've got your protein to ensure you can retain your muscle mass, right? That's your bills and electricities, right? The water, gas, you got to pay that shit. It's a non-negotiable. Then we've got ensuring that you're getting a variety of starchy carbs and whole grains with every meal. This obviously contributes to your fiber as well. It's going to make sure it keeps you full, satisfied, and long-lasting energy between your meals. It's also going to play a part in your body's ability to perform and recover with your training. This is another part of your body's bills. We need to ensure, especially for us women, that you're getting an adequate amount of healthy fats. Yes, when you're dieting, you don't just want to fill up, obviously, on carbs and protein just because it's the lowest calorie macro at 4 calories per gram, and fats is obviously 9 calories per gram. Doesn't mean, more volume, let's just go for that. No. You're fucking with dangerous territory if you're eating fucking under 30 grams of fat as a woman. You need to pay that fucking bill. I like telling my girls for that bill, I want to see 3 to 4 varieties of healthy fats sprinkled throughout your diet, whether it's a bit of avo at lunch, bit of eggs in the morning, a bit of dark chocolate in your, like whatever. We need a sprinkle. We need variety. When they're not there to fill up on, we're not trying to fill up on fats, okay? That's why you go back to your fucking portions, your thumb-sized portion. You need to pay that bill because that's what's also going to keep your hormonal balance. It allows your body to absorb your vitamins A, D, E, and K. Without it, you're not getting that, right? So we need to pay these bills so that your body is actually able to not become deficient, can function optimally, get good sleep, have good energy, have a functioning libido. We need to pay these bills. Now, once you have paid your bills, right, we're always left over a little bit of spending money, right? Cool. Whatever spending money you got, chuck in your paddle pop at dinner. Have a bit of Biscoff and oats in the morning, right? You need to pay your body's bills first. And the reason why a lot of women are struggling with fat loss to sustain it and why it feels so hard and they don't feel like they can actually adhere to the protocol set out is because you're getting it fucking backwards. You're just spending your money first and then you're worrying about the other stuff later. When you are dieting, you need to go in with a plan. You need to ensure that you know what you're eating. So paying the bills is always a priority. And I'll say it to my clients every time.
I love that analogy.
Pay your body's bills.
That's so good. I'm stealing that.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
it has been a game changer and
such a good way to put it.
Makes them really reflect because everyone loves calories aren't obsessive, right? You count your fucking money. You put your money in your savings, right? What's the fucking difference with calories?
Literally.
Right?
It's budget.
Yeah, it's a budget, right?
Yeah.
So when people put it in that perspective, they view it differently. They take emotion away from it, right? Because we don't put emotion into money. Money's money. So if you can take that non-emotional into your nutrition as well, it's going to make it a lot easier and simplify things for you in doing that. So yeah, and I think as well, I want to add to this too with the paying the body's bills. When we talk about protein, for example, I think what's really important is you're also getting a variety of complete protein sources. So your complete protein sources are foods that contain your essential amino acid profile. So these are coming from a lot of your animal-based products. You're vegan, hopefully you're supplementing something, maybe take some BCAAs as well, but you do need to make sure you're getting that essential amino acid profile.
Yep.
Also not just living off white meat. We're women, we need iron. So also, red meat's obviously a lot more higher in calorie because the higher fat content. But again, back to the fats, your body needs this. So for me, I'm not a massive red meat eater. I go through phases, I get the ick of it. So for me, I do supplement a natural iron supplement. But again, I'm still ticking my boxes and I'm paying my body's fucking bills because I don't want to end up fucking anemic.
Yeah, 100%. You got to think about your macros as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, where your protein is actually coming from.
Yeah.
I had a client who was in a deficit and she was struggling with her hunger. She was starving. She was having crazy cravings. So like, all right, let's have a look at your food diary. I would say like 80% of her protein was coming from protein bars, custard, protein puddings, fucking all this shit. She was eating like 100 grams of chicken a day. I'm like, I want you to cut all that shit out and start eating whole food sources of protein. 3 weeks later, she was like, you've changed my life.
Yes.
You've changed my life. She's dropping weight consistently. She feels so much better. Her hunger has balanced itself out massively. Like, you got to actually look at where are you getting your protein from, because you want to get it from complete protein sources, and different sources of protein have different amino acid profiles. If you're getting all of your protein from snacks that are just disguised as protein because they got
artificially
protein slapped on the label, like these are foods that you should be having in moderation. These are snacks that you have on the go. If you're on the run, you can't grab anything, pick up a protein
It's a
bar.
last minute.
Yeah, it's not something that you're stocking up on to have every day.
I want to add to that with the protein, with that fibre as well. I said to clients, you need to hit your fibre, right? And now I don't say fibre anymore. I set a fruit and vegetable target now. I don't say fibre because the problem is people go get these fibre bars. They go and get
Fibre One.
Fibre. I'm a client. She's like, yeah, I'm eating like 3 of them. I was like, go eat a fucking apple.
Literally.
Eat a fucking apple. You're going to be way more fuller. And I tell you what, you're going to feel way better in the guts for it too.
100%.
These smart sweets. I had one client.
Are they the lollies?
Lollies. There's
bro, they fucked up my stomach so bad.
So some clients like, yeah, I'm smashing like 30, 40 grams of fibre. And I'll look, I'm like, where the fuck is this coming from? And these lollies have like fucking 19 grams. And I said, get them out of your fucking diet right now. Like, and this is the problem as well. I'm going to give you girls a hard truth here. Your reason why you're also struggling to lose fat is because you're still too stuck on making your food too pleasurable. When we go into diets, and I always love, this is why I love bodybuilding, because I love taking bodybuilding principles and applying it even to lifestyle here. When you go into a diet, if you want to make it as easy as possible for yourself, stop giving yourself fucking blue balls with tasty food. Your food doesn't need to taste disgusting. That's not what I'm saying. But it shouldn't be tasting like crack that you're having a euphoric experience every time you eat it. Because what's that's doing, it's ramping up your hunger signaling. It's making you want more. It's not satisfying you. So this is where you need to be looking at making your foods a bit more bland, making them a little less palatable, because it's actually going to fill you up more and it's not going to leave this taste in your mouth wanting more. You're literally giving yourself blue balls. You're making it harder. You're teasing yourself.
Yeah, so true. I had to cut out like sugar-free maple syrup and all that shit in prep because it was just leaving me wanting more.
It
so
leaves
delicious.
you wanting more. It gives you gut digestive issues. Like, it was probably one of the number one mistakes I made in my first prep as an amateur, having fucking protein pancakes for breakfast, sugar-free maple syrup.
You're hungry an hour later.
And I'm literally hungry an hour later. Bro, go eat some fucking scrambled eggs with egg whites and on some fucking bread. Like,
100%.
Yeah, that is the biggest thing. But then we go the other end, which will be for another episode. When you go into a build phase, you're struggling to get the food in, right? Make your food more fucking tastier.
Yeah.
So stop trying to make every meal the most delicious gourmet fucking thing, because I promise you that is the biggest difference. And I actually have a rule for myself, not just for when I'm in prep but fat loss phase, but honestly the only time I'm ever doing fat loss is prep, otherwise I'm bulking, is when, especially as my food gets lower, my food's fucking low at the moment. Every time, especially as I get deeper into prep, and obviously food starts to become a bit more enjoyable, when a meal or a food starts tasting a little bit too fucking good, it's gone. I swap it out because I know how much longer I've got to go, and that's only making it harder. And it was something as simple last week. I got a calorie drop recently. It's pretty decent. And I really enjoy having these pittas that I like. And they're not too high calorie either, but the problem is I'd eat these and it was just getting really fucking tasty.
And you just want more?
Too tasty. Yeah. And I was like, this has got to go. So what am I now doing? Big fuck off chicken salads with like 5 different plant sauces in it.
Yeah.
It's a big fucking bowl. It's not as tasty as the pittas, but don't worry. When you get deep enough to prep, or even when you get lean enough in a fat loss, lettuce is going to taste like crack to you. I promise, man.
Yeah.
You're going to bite into a fucking lettuce. It's going to taste good. So don't worry about fucking adding your sugar-free shit. It's going to taste good. So that's where I made that swap. And now I eat dinner. I'm satisfied. I don't want more pittas. I'm just happy with my salad.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. When we look at the skinny fat trap, because we have a lot of females that think they need to lose weight. You don't need to lose weight, babe. You're just skinny fat.
Yeah.
And trying to lose more fat you're going to look even worse. And before I let you go hard into this, because I know you're going to have a lot of good shit to say on this, you might have seen the post I did yesterday, and it was like, what did I say on the post? It was, if I fixated on staying 62 kilos, I would still be skinny fat with no ass.
Mm-hmm.
I would still be there.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm a 62 that I can be fucking proud of, because I actually decided to push my weight up 8 kilos from that 62. Then now I'm not skinny fat. I'm definitely not skinny fat anymore. What would you say to these girls, and who kind of falls into this trap?
I am so excited to go into this. I'm literally doing a webinar on this in like 2 weeks. Shameless plug. See you guys there. This first, let's just define skinny fat. So I actually had a client come to me in a consult, and she fucking described this perfectly. She said to me, I look skinny with clothes on, but I look so soft without them on.
Yes.
And I'm like, that is exactly.
If you feel that, you're skinny fat.
Yeah. The problem is not that you need to lose fat. You're probably not overweight. You are, I don't know if this is even a fucking word, but you are under-muscled.
Yeah, you're under-muscled.
Yeah. That is why you look soft. That is why you have no definition. Your ass is kind of flat. Everything just looks a little bit soft.
I never want to go back to my ass. That ass. No,
that is what we mean by skinny fat. And often what girls do is they'll try to keep dieting, eat less, more cardio, train harder, and they end up looking worse because they're just getting skinnier, but they're still fucking soft. And they're just looking flatter.
And what happens mentally?
Yeah, exactly.
You're in this trap. You're in this vicious cycle.
Yep.
And please, if you haven't, please go look at my recent post about this, because I literally almost fell into that cycle. And if you're looking at my photo on the right and you're like, oh my God, I want that, stop, let go of the fucking scale.
100%.
Throw that shit out if you need to, because that is what's holding you back from building your best physique.
Yeah.
Girls, I had so many girls come to me and I get them eating more. All I do is I get them eating more and I get them following a program, training the same muscle groups every week, like the same exercises. Within a month, they're like, oh my God, I look better.
The recomp
straight away.
Yeah, literally.
Straight away. I'm looking at and look, there's another thing. If you're early in your training years, why the fuck would you waste your most anabolic years when you're so highly sensitive to the stimulus of weight training? Go and put yourself on lower food and slow down that anabolicness.
You got newbie gains.
You got newbie gains, girls,
use.
And you're gonna weigh heavier because you're building muscle. Don't let that trick you and start underfueling. If you are new in the gym, do not, and if what Sandra said, that description of skinny fat, if you fall into that, do not go put yourself in a deficit. If you think you don't have the right mindset, get a fucking coach, please, because you are wasting time. You're wasting time in your fucking journey, and trust me, you're going to look back and you're going to fucking regret it, because it's not enjoyable as well. And you're doing this out of fucking hate and not out of love.
Yeah. The problem is usually not that you have too much fat, it's that you don't have enough muscle. You can't reveal muscle that's not there, that hasn't been built.
And embrace a bit of fluff.
Yeah.
Embrace a little bit of fluff.
Literally.
Trust me, you can't look any worse than skinny fat.
Yeah, exactly.
In my opinion.
Exactly.
Do you know what I actually keep calling myself lately? Okay, so I'm depleted as fuck right now. I haven't had a refeed in like fucking 6 days. So I'm on low carbs. And my butt's looking a bit sad. And I'm walking around the fucking house. So I said to Paul, I was like, I'm skinny flat. I am skinny flat.
That is how I felt in prep.
I remember at my bum.
I messaged Ben and I'm like, my ass is gone.
If no one knows what we're talking about, by the way, when you're in prep and obviously you have to get on low carbs, you're not storing much glycogen in your muscles, so you don't have that full muscular look. You just look skinny like a rake, and your muscles look really flat.
Yeah. He literally replied, he's like, tell me you're on low carbs without telling me.
Yeah, bro, it's so bad. I'm like, Paul, my ass is gone. Yeah. And then as soon as I get a refed, I'm like, oh, I've just gained a kilo of muscle.
Literally,
and
it's
this
crazy,
is and it's funny because when I obviously had that high carb day I did the other day, I woke up a kilo heavier, but I looked better.
Exactly.
And this is if you do bodybuilding, like if you want to do bodybuilding and you already have issues with the number on the scale, don't do bodybuilding, because it's not about a fucking number on the scale, man. It is a fucking look. It is a look.
You could be the exact same body weight and look completely different. Your body composition could look completely different because you have more muscle and less fat.
If I'm not chasing a stage weight, give me how I looked in that 62 kilo the day after a refeed the other week than what I do now. I actually weigh 2 kilos less now than what I did, but I'm flat where I was full. 2 kilos, I look full.
Yeah.
if I was not going for sure, I fucking hate feeling flat, but you accept it as a part of the process.
Yeah, you do. Just like when you're in a build phase, you accept looking a little bit fluffy as part of the process. That's me right now. Like, I'm a little bit heavier than usual. Do I give a fuck? Not really, because it's temporary. I know I'm going to cut and reveal a better physique later. Done it before and I'll do it again. It's part of the process.
100%. To close in on this episode, Sandra, what are a couple of pointers that you would maybe give to someone to maybe help structure their fat loss phase?
Well, firstly, like we said, get a coach.
Yeah, if you've never done it, get a coach.
Get a coach.
Yep, learn.
It will save you so much wasted time and so much wasted effort. You have to find the approach that works for you. Like I said at the start of this episode, the principle is the same. You need to be in an energy deficit. That is the same for everyone. You can't like fight that. But the strategy has to be different. The system has to be different, because what works for me might not work for you. Every single one of my clients are on a completely different plan, because what works for one is not going to work for the next. It all comes down to your adherence, your social life, your psychological state, your timeline. Are you working towards a holiday? Are you just trying to lose weight like at a slower pace whenever you're happy to? Like, there are so many factors that go into it. So working with a professional is the fucking best thing that you can do for yourself. Otherwise, you're just going to keep like going in circles.
Yeah, I would also add to that as well. One thing I do, so when clients sign up with me, I don't let them go into a fat loss phase straight away.
Same.
I don't care who you are. I don't know you. I don't know what your nutrition literacy is like. You need to prove and earn your right to me that you can go into a fat loss phase.
100%.
Because I'm not fucking you up when you actually have an ED that you're masking.
Yeah.
So for me, I actually first like to ensure that you have the skills, habits, and behaviors to do a fat loss phase. Because I'm not putting you in a fat loss phase and then you like did all the mistakes that we literally labeled earlier in this episode, and then you're creating health issues, you're not losing at the rate that we want, or you're not losing it all because you keep fucking it up on the weekend.
Yeah.
And my philosophy is, when we go into fat loss, we get in, we get the job done, we get the fuck out.
Absolutely.
We're not dancing around here like doing it well during the week and then fucking up on the weekends.
Yeah.
We are making sure that you have the skills required. So I love that hearing that you do the same thing, because this is to ensure that when we do your fat loss, I'm not saying, I let this client go into a fat loss, but they lost 3 kilos in 12 weeks because they just weren't quite ready and built to do it. I want to say, this client lost 8 kilos in 12 weeks. Why? Because we spent 4 months prior making sure she knew how to structure her meals, hit her step targets, have better structure with her training regime, her mindset, have all these beautiful things that when you even go into your fat loss, you transition into it seamlessly. The skills, habits, behaviors you should already have in place before you do fat loss.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like we have the same coaching philosophy. I've had clients even like push back when I tell them I'm not putting you into a calorie deficit straight away. Yeah, I need to learn how your body works first.
Yep.
I need to learn how you respond physiologically, psychologically. I need to see what your habits are actually like, because anyone can jump on a call and say, go to the gym 5 times a week.
I don't care about your money
all the time. Yeah,
I don't care about your money. I care about my name and my reputation, and I care about looking after women's health. If you don't like what I've got mapped out for you, cool, fuck off and go do an 8-week challenge somewhere else, because I'm not having that on my conscience. I'm not going against my values and what I know. I've spent years and years, almost 10 years, investing $1,000 in my education. You think I'm going to fucking go against that? You're wrong. And I have had girls leave. And I'm okay with that, because they're going to go to someone that's going to fuck them up. Yeah. But it's not on my conscience. I didn't do that.
Yeah. If you go to a coach and they straight away put you on fucking 1,600 calories, like, that is a red flag, dude.
Yeah. You girls need to start thinking deeper. Fast is not better. And fat loss is so much more complex than you think. Yep. And if you don't do it right, you can do it dangerous. And that's what this episode, we hope, can bring you girls all more awareness and hopefully help you avoid making mistakes that are so common with doing this. So we really hope you girls got a lot from this episode. Sandra, do you have any final words for these girls?
I just want to say you got to have the right habits in place. It's so important, because like we said earlier, it's not even just about losing the fat, it's about keeping it off. And if you don't actually have the same habits, the right habits in place, like, it's a fucking marathon, it's not a sprint. If you try to sprint your way to the finish line, good luck keeping that weight off when you just go back to your usual habits. The habits that got you to where you are now are not going to get you out of this position.
Yeah, well said. Well, thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys.
And we will be transitioning, I reckon, this with how to keep that fat off next time.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of In Between Sets Unfiltered.
If you love this episode, make sure you subscribe, share it with a friend, and tag us so we can thank you for tuning in.
And if you're ready to train with more intention, confidence, and real standards,
you are exactly where you need to be.
We'll see you in between sets.